during COVID-19, our next guest has been coaching individuals with a unique approach to preparing job applications and has delivered a national webinar on updating your resume. It's our pleasure to welcome business coach and facilitation expert David Campbell on the line. Good morning, David.
Good morning. How are you?
We are wonderful. Now, it's really a great opportunity to be able to speak to you this morning considering the situation. So thanks very much for joining us on Cindy and Daz.
Not a problem.
It's been a really interesting journey, this lockdown that we've been through, David, as well. There's probably hundreds of thousands of people out there that have been laid off and are now taking that next step, I suppose, to look for work. I'm guessing you'll need more than just a resume that are going to open doors for you.
Look, absolutely. I've been watching with interest some of the ads, certainly locally here in Canberra, about come and get your resume written, and it frustrates me because a good resume is critical, but you actually need an underlying strategy as to how you're going to approach this, and prepare yourself for that interview, and so I work with my clients from that point of view of developing a strategy and better chance of being found and then interviewed.
David, I've been hearing and reading a little bit about the applicant tracking systems. Now, is there a strategy to cracking that and being shortlisted and presenting confidently at a winning interview?
Yeah, look, absolutely. And the strategy for that is exactly the same as the strategy for, if you've got a person who's reading, let's say, 50, 60 resumes, it's exactly the same strategy. And that strategy is all about reflecting the culture of the ad of the organisation that is applying for, or that you're applying for, and getting those words into your resume. So, for example, if someone talks about clients and your resume talks about customers, something like an applicant tracking system won't pick that up because it parses your application through or your resume through, and it picks up your words. But then when it searches, it's just a computer system. So it doesn't know to convert client to customer or vice versa. And so if it's in the job ad that they have customers, you need to say in your resume that you've dealt with customers, not clients. It is as simple as that, but that is a really unique strategy. And when someone is then reading your resume individually, they've got that same mentality in their head. They wrote the job ad that said we deal with clients. So if they've got to do that mental conversion every time they read a resume, it makes it more difficult. And I say to people, give the information, make it easy to find the information. So change your resume so that it reflects those words, that culture of the organisation that you're applying to join.
Isn't that interesting? The smallest little things make that difference. All right, David, Absolutely. So we've got a good resume now, but should we have a strategic approach to responding to a job ad and also presenting at an interview as well?
Absolutely. So the whole idea of this is that you don't see the application process as sending in a covering letter, sending in a resume, sending in some sort of a pitch or a response to selection criteria, and then going to an interview. That's 4 separate activities. You need to see it as one. You need to see it so that there are links in each document, in each written piece, and then again in your spoken piece, that join all of these together into one package. And so I work with my clients, my customers, to develop a strategy that I call the matrix. And the matrix is all about having your own personal database of experience that you can tap into right through the entire process. So you're using the same words, the same language all the way through. And therefore, what the interviewer is seeing is consistency of experience right through that process.
I'm loving this, David.
Me too.
Tell us about the 5 critical parts you need to know and apply to get that next job. So critical.
So the first one is, the first most critical is the contact officer and the words in the job ad. If they have a contact officer and you don't bring the contact officer, you don't deserve to get the job, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Because it's about picking up that culture, picking up those words, listening to what is being said. So that's the first critical step. Then you've got your covering letter, and I've seen so many applications that don't even do a covering letter. And I use the covering letter as a set the agenda kind of thing. I've done a lot of work with ladies returning to work after having families, and they say, it's, you know, I've been off, why are they going to take me? And I say to them, you know, you have just done the hardest job in the world of raising kids. And in that, you've demonstrated that you know how to set boundaries, you know how to apply rules, you know how to wrangle cats and herd them. You know, you've got these positive skills, and you should be putting that in your resume.
We call that time management, David.
Absolutely. and so I work on the basis that let's address those gaps in a covering letter that then leads into a resume full of experience. And so you've got the covering letter, you've got the resume. You then have to look at that selection criteria or the pitch that they're after. You know, tell us why you're the best candidate for the job. And there's a real skill to writing those. And then the interview, have that same flow through that. And I undergird that. As I said, it's almost like this secret sauce that I've developed of having this matrix of experience. And it's a lot of work to put it together, but when you've got it there, that language flows right through this entire process. And people come out the other end of it saying, you know, I actually went to the interview and I wasn't worried about it.
I think as well, I always say, do you like this? Because I'm often talking about, I work in the employment industry, and I often say an interview is an opportunity for a conversation. That's all it is to start off with. So don't overthink these things. David
absolutely.
is also the co-author of The Change Number 7 and the author of Observations from the Quarter Deck, the Grand Adventure of Business, which will be available in 2020 as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that second one, the first one was basically a challenge for me to actually write something. But the second one is it was just a book that has come out of my business coaching background, and I'm an ex-military, so I've done 20 years in the Navy, and so it's using the analogy of a sailing ship to explain and understand how to actually move your business forward. COVID has slowed me down on that one. So look, I'm hoping by the middle of the year, towards the end of the year.
David, when David mentioned that he was 20 years in the Navy, I sat up straight all of a sudden.
I watched you sit up straight.
My shoulders went back. I sat up straight.
And I just kind of thought, oh, well, I like to test the boundaries a bit.
Hey, David, before we let our listeners know how to find you and make contact, you're a marriage celebrant as well. How's that going?
That's been quiet through COVID. You know, I got into that because it's just something I enjoy. But yeah, I'm a marriage celebrant. I do 15 odd weddings a year. This year's going to be a little smaller because people are stepping back. But yeah, it's good fun. I've done 2 weddings. I actually did a wedding like this last weekend.
Amazing.
And it was great just having that group of people together and celebrating, you know, love and just marriage in a very difficult time.
I love this. This is awesome. David, we could talk to you all day. Unfortunately, we're on a time frame here. How would people find you?
Look, the best way, and I hope you can put it on your website, is my website address, which is ddkcampbell.com.au. And on that, if you're looking for the stuff I'm talking about with the application interview preparation, I've actually got an online course. So if you follow my coaching pathway, training and an application interview preparation course that you can do equally. If you can't find it, for goodness sake, reach out to me on any of the forms on the website and I'll help point you in that right direction.
Dave, it's been an absolute pleasure. How timely is our conversation based on people looking to get back into the workforce now?
Absolutely.
David Camp.
Look, I wish them all the best that they do this. It's not an easy job.
Absolutely. Business coach and facilitation expert. Find David at ddkcampbell.com.au. We'll put the details on our socials and our website. We'll also post the chat a little later on for you also, David. Been great grabbing you in the car on a very busy Friday morning. We really appreciate it and potentially look forward to chatting to you a little bit later on.
Thanks, Daz. Thanks, Cindy. It was great talking to you both.
Daz, you can stand down now if you like. I think that might be a good idea.
See you, David.
Relax your shoulders. What are you doing?
At ease, guys.
I love him.
David
Let's
was the
chat
best.
with him again soon.
How good was that?
Yeah.
Really timely because people are in that situation now. They really want to desperately get back into the workforce, and it's about spending the time and effort into your CV to give yourself the best possible chance.